Yo, what is up everyone, it's Magnus Bulkan here, and in today's video we're going to do a science-based full day of eating. So I'm going to be showing you exactly what I eat for building muscle, and I'm also going to show some studies and just basically support my claims because yeah, I'm doing this to optimize muscle growth, and I think you will learn a lot from this video as well. So welcome to my thoughts. You get it? Because we're like in first person and you're seeing from my point of view, so you're like thinking from my point of... Okay, yeah, let's just start the actual video or what it's about. Well, I'm currently doing a lean bulk, and the macros I'm trying to hit for my lean bulk is 135 grams of protein, 372 grams of carbs, and 75 grams of fat. And I'm currently eating 2,700 calories, which is about a 7.5% calorie surplus. And if you're unfamiliar with the term lean bulk, well, a bulk is that you're eating a calorie surplus in order to gain body weight and preferably muscle. And a lean bulk is essentially the same thing, but just that you're not in a too big of a calorie surplus so that you don't gain unnecessary body fat. I'll go further in depth about how many calories you should eat specifically, but in the background you're just seeing me making the actual breakfast. I will talk more about the actual breakfast in a few minutes, just going to cover this first. Well, some general calorie recommendations is that if you're a beginner, eat in a 10% calorie surplus, and if you are an intermediate, eat in a 5% calorie surplus. That's pretty much the basics, and for some people they might need, or if you're a beginner with good genetics in terms of muscle growth, you can probably up to 15% calorie surplus. And if you are a beginner with shitty genetics for muscle growth, probably like in the lower side, because if we build more muscle, we need more calories and protein. Not that much more though, but yeah, it's pretty simple. So before we talk about my delicious ass breakfast, which you're seeing me making on screen, we're just going to cover a study pretty quickly. Well, I've actually talked about this study before because yeah, it's pretty good and it proves a point. So one group ate in a 500 calorie surplus, and another group, it actually didn't specify how many calories they ate. I would guess around a 200, maybe 300 calorie surplus, or at least a lot lower calorie surplus. They gained almost the same amount of muscle, like a very minuscule difference, but they gained almost 4 times less body fat, which is a lot. So I'm not going to talk about this study even more, just because I've made a video on my YouTube channel solely dedicated to this study alone. But what this study basically shows us is that a lean bulk is way smarter than a dirty bulk, because a dirty bulk will just result in a ton more fat gain but not a lot more muscle gain. So yeah, it's not worth it. You have to spend a lot of time cutting down. So that's that, and yeah, let's get to the breakfast. This is basically like a low carb, high fat, moderate protein meal. And why it's moderate protein is because we want to keep protein consistent throughout all the meals for today to keep muscle protein synthesis high, which is basically optimal for building muscle. And we're having low carbohydrates simply because we want to time our carbs around training, both before and after. We got some carbs from the bread and the beans. And your breakfast doesn't necessarily need to be high fat, but because I want to have a pretty decent sized meal for breakfast, we're going to have high fats now, because yeah, as I said, we're having low carbs. So to make this meal bigger, we're going to add more fats. So yeah, that's from the eggs and the avocado. Before I eat, I'm quickly going to cover meal frequency. So a lot of people think that you have to eat at least 6 meals per day, and you have to do a lot of crazy shit like waking up in the middle of the night to make sure that muscle protein synthesis levels are high. But you don't have to do that. The science and literature on that shows that if you're eating 3 to 6 meals a day, you're going to be completely fine. You're going to be fine with more meals also, but it's just not very convenient to eat every 30 minutes of the day. So yeah, general recommendations, 3 to 6 meals per day. I personally eat 4 meals just because I like the visual appearance of like a bigger meal in front of me. But yeah, that's just me. If you like 6, if you like 5, and if you like 3 or 2, fine, go with it. But yeah, I'm super hungry right now, so let's eat. So I just finished that meal. It was a solid one, but anyways, just an update on my boring life. My summer job ended and I bought a tripod. Pretty decent tripod, only costed like $40, which is pretty good for like this quality and how big it is. So I'm going to expand the BBC right now. Get back camera gear. Yeah, it kind of works. So as you can see, it goes up to like my upper abs, but I can do one more thing. Row, row, row your boat. Oh fuck, I think I just ruined it. It only costed like 40 bucks, which is pretty good for like this quality. Such dumbass. You came, I guess you could say out the blue, and still I smile, 'cause I am so. So we got the meal right here. This moderate protein, high carbohydrate and low fat meal. Pretty good for pre-workout nutrition. I'm going to dig in first bite. Let's see my orgasm. I'm not gonna lie, this meal looks like the most boring meal on the planet, but it tastes pretty good. So what I wanted to do with this video is not only to inform you, but also to just give you some food options, because yeah, I make a lot of food and it might seem pretty boring, but as long as you know how to make it, it tastes pretty good. So I actually like enjoy this basic shit with the small ingredients and how I made it. So yeah, I'm not complaining. Tastes freaking nice. I really want to say something, but I feel like people are just going to think that I'm not being serious when I say it, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Like, I'm not even joking. This kinda tastes like cookie dough. I think it's from the salted caramel pre-workout. No, not pre-workout, the protein powder I used. It, I don't know, it kind of made it have like a cookie dough flavor. This tastes amazing. I can't stop saying it because it's true. But I probably will make an in-depth tutorial on how to make this pretty soon in the future, so stay on the lookout for that video because I know that a lot of people want it. But I'm going to finish the bowl of oatmeal, then maybe take some pre-workout because yeah, we're not natty up in this bitch. But yeah, let's get to the pre-workout. So it's been about 1.5 hours since I ate, and now we're going to take some pre-workout. The pre-workout I'm having is pineapple and grapefruit. I'm not going to bullshit. I like my protein brand in general, but this one tastes like shit. Oh my god, can you see that smoke? Holy shit. Cheers. I'm going to be training a pool workout later today, and this is actually the last week of my first training phase. And the first training phase is hypertrophy focused, so I've been basically doing like higher reps, and I've also been doing exercises that isn't so suited for strength and powerlifting, but more for only hypertrophy. So instead of doing the flat barbell bench press, I've been doing the low incline dumbbell bench press as my main movement for the chest. So yeah, I pretty much haven't benched in like 6 months. We're going to enjoy this last hard pool session of this first hypertrophy phase. Let's get to it.
Bruh.
So now I do kind of realize that this is probably a mindfuck and I should have recorded things a bit better, but the meal you saw me eat was a few hours ago. That was dinner. Just some fish with potatoes and some cream, some sour cream. So yeah, pretty basic and healthy meal. And for supper, we're having apples with cinnamon. It tastes 10 times better with cinnamon. Like without cinnamon, I never eat apples, but with cinnamon, oh yeah. And the other meal we're having is some bread with cottage cheese and low sugar strawberry jam on top of it. If you don't know, cottage cheese, an amazing source for slow digesting protein, so that's pretty great before bed so that muscle protein synthesis can stay high during the night. I'm trying to make my last meal something with cottage cheese every day, and this is a combination that I love, so I recommend for you to try it out as well. After this, I'm just quickly going to talk about a meta-analysis regarding how much protein you should eat and some potential benefits you may get if you go over the recommended daily dose of protein. But yeah, going to eat this meal first. Let's go. That's a pretty nice meal to end off the day. Here you can see my goals for the macros and calories. And on my left and probably your right, you can see the macros and calories that I actually ate. So yeah, that was some sick sound effects, but yeah, I hit it pretty accurately. But now let's get to the meta-analysis. To explain what a meta-analysis is, it's basically a compilation of many studies compiled into one paper. So yeah, it's a lot more trustable and scientifically accurate compared to one single study. So it's basically like the holy grail of the truth. So there was a meta-analysis done when it comes to daily protein intake, and it's probably going to surprise a lot of you because a lot of people think that you need a lot of protein to build muscle, and you need some, yes, but the meta-analysis showed that only 1.6 grams per kilo of body weight is needed to maximize muscle growth. And that is probably a lot lower than you assumed, simply because, yeah, a lot of people think that you have to eat at least twice your body weight, and to be honest, that's also what I would recommend for most people. And that's because eating a high protein diet, or at least a higher than 1.6 grams per kilo of body weight, is good, is because it has a lot of satiating benefits. Protein fills you up more, so it's going to be a less likelihood of you eating more calories than you need to, especially for someone like me who has a huge appetite compared to what I actually should eat. And another reason why a higher protein diet can be beneficial is if you're dieting, because yeah, you're going to use some of that protein for energy when you're dieting, and also when you're doing cardio on a cut, you're also going to lose some calories in form of protein, not only carbohydrates. So yeah, the meta-analysis show that you only need 1.6 grams per kilo of body weight when it comes to protein, but if we are going to use it in a more practical sense, I would recommend a bit more, so about twice your body weight. So yeah, there you have it, folks. This has been a full day of eating, science-based. I hope that you've learned something. I definitely have, and I've learned that my tripod isn't as good as I thought it was. That fucking bitch. Thank you so much for watching. It's pretty late now, so I'm going to bed pretty soon. So yeah, if you liked the video, like the video, and if you didn't like the video, dislike the video and tell me what I can improve on in the comment section below. My name is Magnus Bulkan. I appreciate the fuck out of you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, bye. And by the way, all the studies that are referenced in this video is going to be down in the description. So yeah, I hope you liked it. Peace.